All
Ooh,
right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of For the Most Part podcast. Louise and I, we
welcome
we, smi- we
back.
smiling, right? No,
Yes, we are.
it's a smile because it's a very probably one of the most serious topics that we'll probably ever talk about on this podcast, and
Yes,
it
I think so
and
too.
and it's probably also because we kind of saw the signs coming for years, as in, us keeping tabs on the industry, um, and just kind of,
Yes.
you know, marking, like certain people looking kind of sus. You know what I mean? Certain things that you do looks kind of sus, but nonetheless, we are here. I didn't even want to call it an elephant in the room kind of thing, but
Well, yeah, but it is certainly an elephant.
yeah, certainly an elephant of some sort.
Yes.
How do we even begin introducing this particular topic without people feeling
Hmm.
um scared, traumatized, hurt? Okay, maybe we could talk about it this way. There are
Yes,
some things called predators that exist
there
within
are.
in the industry, and I think that's a good way to start.
Yes, we are
Um,
starting off with that word predator.
yeah.
Starting off with that word predator.
No, that
Yes.
predator could mean anything from a sexual predator to just somebody who is grooming you to be a certain image. Because people
Mm-hmm.
feel that predators are only one way. There are people in business who are predators who want you for your money. So
Yes.
that's also one. Um,
Or record execs who, even if they do not sexually exploit you, they may exploit your talents. Um, they may not pay you the percentage that you deserve. That is also a form of that is also predatory behavior.
yeah.
Sad thing is the person whose name we're not gonna say, but you'll figure out who we're speaking about in a bit. This person, I'll use his pronouns, it's a he. He's probably he has probably um he has
Made more
probably
people famous in the industry than
mhm.
producers and most business entertainers in particular. Um, yeah. And
Yeah, so I think y'all could figure out where we're going. Um, I just want to thank the British Broadcasting Corporation because I'm just going to use an article from them to give us just a little background, right? I don't want to call names, but you'll figure it out, right?
I sang a little piece of sample in the background there. They should be able to
No,
figure
don't make me do it.
it.
Um, we're talking about someone whose government name is Sean Combs, who
hmm
BBC calls one of the most successful music moguls in the history of rap. If you think of the history of rap, I would say that is an accurate statement.
hmm
If you think about his successes, remember Notorious B.I.G. was one of his artists,
Yeah.
prolific rapper, prolific. May he rest in peace. This gentleman has had 4 lawsuits filed against him,
In
accusing him of
recent times.
sexual in recent times, accusing him of sexual and physical abuse, including uh Cassie, Cassandra Ventura. I'll say her government name, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's his ex-wife. A number of other persons, including producer Rodney Jones, has filed a similar suit against Mr. Combs, who abused him over a year-long period when he was living on the star's properties and working on his music, right? So we're not going to go into the entire laundry list of allegations, but a
Right.
lot of it is sexual abuse. I've seen the term sex trafficking thrown about by a few American news outlets.
hmm
Um, and I just want to be very clear. Um, this is not just about Sean Combs, and we're certainly not only going to talk about any other artist that we happen to mention in this episode, right? I think
Yeah,
there's a
we
much.
not. I just want to say briefly, we're not trying to get in trouble, but I just want to
No,
also
we're
say
not.
that we are trying to make people aware. This is for the safety of the artists who listen to this
Yes.
podcast on a weekly basis, who've been
Yes.
supporting. This is probably a good idea for you all to just listen and make note of some red flags, because then hopefully we save somebody from going down this road too. On
I
both
agree.
sides. On both sides.
I agree. I agree. I agree. Especially if you are young and you may not have necessarily seen that much of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, obviously, the P. Diddy case, Sean Combs, has, it's made headlines. But this is not to say he is the only person of his kind.
Mm-hmm.
It is not to say that there are probably predators who walk among us here in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm just saying it's possible. But I also want to make another point. To quote the late notorious B.I.G., more money, more problems.
Truth.
More money, more problems. I am tempted to believe that if Sean Combs never became P. Diddy, his life would have been a little different.
Yeah.
It might have been a little different. But the thing is, when you have a lot of money and a lot of influence, you can hide things, you can pay off people. And I'm being completely hypothetical, right? I am wearing a gray hoodie. These are my court clothes. You understand? Yes, right? You have money, you have influence, you can hide things, you can manipulate the truth so that it serves you in the long run. But it's not just about, I guess the point I want to make is it's not the fact that he's a hip-hop artist who has gained all this money and success. Anyone with money can have a very, yes, exactly. Anyone with money. However, which leads me to my next point. People who could count the balance in their bank account with like 7 and 8 digits usually rub shoulders with people with similar bank accounts. And worse yet, if chances are, if you are a record executive, chances are you rub shoulders with other record executives, other musicians, other people involved in the music industry as a whole. Which leads me to, somebody may find out, somebody is going to see something. Somebody is going to notice something. Somebody is going to see and notice something. Yes, people may keep their mouths shut for years, but a certain artist spoke on him recently. He in his situation, he described it as getting out in time. Another artist who was discovered by Sean Combs at the tender age of 16, I think. He himself said that he saw some things that,
that he thought was.
Yeah. And but what bothers me is that he would have been still a child. This particular singer would have been in his teens, in a way, being, I don't want to say groomed, but certainly acclimatized to a certain
level of living.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I don't like about the whole situation. It's not just the person who commits these acts, it's the people who actively support them in committing these acts and the people who turn the other way. Other rappers must have figured out something.
They're supposed to.
Well, maybe what we should say is that if they had a shred of decency in their body, they would have tried to do something. But I also understand, if you think about that recent tell-all about Nickelodeon, I also understand that sometimes you're not in a position
to
to do
speak.
much,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
especially if your own success, your own commercial success as
Hangs
a
in the balance,
musician.
basically. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. You don't want to intimidate someone who could very well help you become famous. I understand what that must feel like.
Yeah,
I understand what that must feel like. But at the same time, someone should have said something.
something, yeah. Now, again, we say all this to say that someone should have said something. We also have to remember that some of these kids had parents who said, go. And we was just like, well, okay. Mommy, daddy, I would assume that you would have done your best to have had me protected from, you know,
Yes.
at least. But no,
Yes.
you said go. What do you mean?
Yes.
What do you mean? What do you mean that at 16 years old or 15 or 13 years old that you're gonna live
Mm.
in some man house? What? What?
Hmm.
Now,
Mm.
I say all this to say, we talking about how we talking about the artists who are now making reports and filing lawsuits, but
Hmm.
there's so much more that precedes the present. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
there's at least
Because there are
20
more
or
than four
30 years.
victims.
Thank you. I'm not gonna say they're not. There's more than 20 or 30 years of stuff.
Yes.
I'm almost certain we haven't scratched the surface of this
No.
whole.
No. Oh, no, we haven't. I mean, we haven't because I mean we've only mentioned the four who filed their lawsuit, the four women.
And we don't even know if there were others who got paid off to be quiet.
Technically, Cassie was paid off to be quiet.
I mean, I
She did
guess.
receive a settlement.
Mm-hmm.
She did receive a settlement. But I am not at all negating her experience.
Yeah.
By no means I am not. No.
Fair. Fair.
It just simply means that the legal route that she chose was to accept a settlement and to just shut up about it.
Mm. Probably because it would have cost her much more than.
Yes,
We don't
because
know. We're putting in a.
yes,
We put an out
that
an
is it.
assumption there. That's most
Yes.
likely. Anytime you see someone settles out of court or it's probably because it's going to cost way too much in the future to continue.
Yes, and it
Lawyers cost money, so yeah. But I'm not saying that you should not take somebody to court. I'm just simply saying, from their perspective, especially if you're not making as much money as you thought you would have been, it probably don't make sense. I don't know.
Mhm. And if people can refer to you as a hip hop mogul and you have hip hop mogul money, that hip hop mogul money is going to buy the services of the best attorney.
Yeah.
Absolute best attorney. The absolute best attorney. Like, come now. This gentleman owns a private jet. It's black. Which yes. So let's get a little lighthearted for a minute. Guys, Sean Combs, he does have a private jet. It is black. It is alleged that it was spotted in Antigua, but that the man himself was not spotted in Antigua. This is just a personal plea to everybody living in the Caribbean, particularly my people maybe living in Antigua, maybe living in St. Lucia, the smaller islands, because he's going to go to one of those small islands, right?
Report
Guys,
him.
if you see a black, I think it's a Gulf Stream.
That's a very, by the way, I'm gonna say a Gulf Stream is very expensive. That's a top of the line jet.
Yes, it is. It is top of the line and a good safety record too.
Yeah.
Good safety record. Guys, all I'm asking is if you see Diddy's black, and it's a handsome thing to wear, black with white trim, gorgeous.
So that's now on a side. 23 million for a 2023 model Gulfstream G288, 72.5 million for a 2024 model Gulfstream G800. this is as of 2023 and 2024. Much of the time, these people change out jets, but they might have also used stock to buy it too. So it's possible it doesn't actually cost that much, but
Okay.
they may do like let the bank buy it something and then they buy it off the bank. I don't know, however it is work it out. But yes, continue.
Right. Thank you, Camille, for that. If you see that Gulf Stream in the sky, maybe throw a stone at it.
No, don't do that.
Maybe mutter some harsh words to it. Maybe, just,
Let's not stoop to this man's level.
Okay, no. All right. Let me retract those statements. All I will say is, if you live in a small country and you happen to see the jet, just maybe
report
post about it.
Yeah, report it. Yeah.
Yeah, just report it. I mean, he caught on in Tobago, I could tell you that. He wouldn't dare. That's a no.
I think we Trinidad are a little different. And Tobagonians too, but the Trinidad is different too.
Yes. But honestly, from the way the internet has been speaking about this, it's clear that no one is really.
He's not getting. He's leaving unscathed. Sorry. Yes. I'm saying it. He's not leaving unscathed.
No. In the court of public opinion, this man, I feel like his career, maybe it isn't over, but it's certainly
going downhill. It's on the exit. It's on the exit from
yeah. His relevance, perhaps, because I don't know how after this, if these allegations do end up being true, I don't know how after this any artist that his record label decides to launch is going to be taken seriously. Right?
Because it would mean that they've been under him for so long and they know about it and they didn't say anything either. So I'm just saying,
not only that, or people might, let's say 5 years into the future, some new artist comes out under him. The first thing they're going to think of is, wait, this new artist, aren't they produced by that sexual predator guy? That may be the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about, do you remember that era when boy bands were all the rage?
Yep.
The thing is, it was the same person that put together NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. I think he put together some boy bands in the UK too. This was like during the really big boy band era. If you were born in the 80s and you were a teenager and like in the 90s going into the 2000s, you might remember these boy bands. But a tell-all would have come out about the guy who put them together, and he was truly an awful person. And the boy bands generally had a tough experience working with him. So I cannot see my favorite boy bands quite in the same way. In fact, maybe I feel more sympathy towards them, thinking, oh my goodness, is this the character that you'll have to experience, you know?
Yeah.
So I can have sympathy for them.
Fair.
But if I take it back to the present, someone, or 5 years into the future, someone might see Sean Combs launching a new artist and be like, yeah, I can't take that artist seriously.
I can't take Sean Combs seriously. What do you mean?
Exactly.
You're not even studying the artist.
Exactly. You are studying producer. You are studying the producer.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that Sean Combs became famous overnight. No, he has decades of fame behind him. I don't think there's any way that he can really live this down in our lifetime.
Yeah.
The only way it could start happening is if he just vanishes completely from public life.
That's going to be difficult. Because here's the thing, even though the world hates Sean Combs, he's still going to be famous in that regard. Because this is how fame works. Whether you do something good or bad, your name's still out there.
Yes.
You might be rich, you might lose all your money, but people gonna know, oh yeah, Sean Combs was both one of the most successful producers and business entrepreneurs or whatever, and he was also a sexual predator. Strip him of his fame, delete him from the internet.
And you do that though? Is it really possible to delete someone from the internet?
I have no idea. I would like to find out. Could you, how possible, like on a real note, like we just always say delete them from the internet, but how possible is it to actually delete them from the internet?
No, the internet is forever.
Yeah.
Because the internet is forever because if my science is correct, so let's say you upload something to Facebook, even if you set it to friends only, Facebook might do what they want.
True.
Even if you are uploading stuff or posting stuff to a select group of people, it's not really restricted to that select group of people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, so
it's a part of the internet abyss. That's not gonna change. Yeah, that's
no, that is not going to change.
Yeah.
That is not going to change at all. That is not going to change at all. So nah, he's not gonna live this down, at least not in our time or in another lifetime. The internet has been having a field day. The memes are out of control.
Yeah, he's not gonna get away, not at all.
Nah.
And in a lot of ways, I'm actually glad because, I don't know if you all saw this whole calendar thing where they started like pulling people who did bad stuff in the past year. Yeah. Where you was expected, you didn't think people was gonna make fun of you?
Yes. I believe Cat Williams is January.
Yeah.
Who the F did I marry lady is February. Yeah. Sean Combs is hands down March. Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. But ladies and gentlemen, if you are a young upcoming musician, getting your feet wet, don't think that someone who you think can open doors for you, don't allow that person to take advantage of you. And I'm not even talking about to the extent that Mr. Combs took it by breaking laws and violating people. I'm not even talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about simple things like someone who
money.
does not. Yes, exactly. If someone says, I have a gig for you, ask for the amount that you are worth. And if they have a problem with it,
do some research too, because a lot of the time, people in the industry come with references. If your references are not like, you kind of know, you've heard the horror stories. When I say horror stories, then it's very general. Like, you ask about, let's just say, an individual who plays an instrument. I would, most times I always ask, do you know this person's name? What's your history with them? And I've asked like several people about this person and they say, they're right to know, but they might have a little problem. That's a red flag. It's now up to you to decide if you really want to take that risk and work with that person, depending on what their bad habit is, or if you have heard of those if that red flag is real serious, stay away. Stay away. That is all that stay away. You looking for trouble. That's literally all that it is.
And another thing I would like to say as well, because I realize that there are a lot of people who don't always remember this. If you are around a person who is known to abuse other people, but they don't abuse you, they're still an abuser. Even if you have a good experience with that person, but there are 5 other people who could swear on a stack of Bibles, oh no, this was the pain I experienced with this person, and they have receipts.
Yeah.
That just means that you were lucky. It does not mean that you have a right to say, well, he didn't hurt me or she didn't hurt me, so therefore they're not all bad. No, it just means that you were spared. That's it.
Trust and believe it, guys. Like, we talking from experience. There are people in this present industry that I would advise you not to work with, but again, it depends on the degree to which I had a bad experience with them. Like, if I just think you have issues with manners and gratitude and recognition of effort. They're not stopping you from working with that person, but
Hmm.
I'm just gonna let you know that they're just very bad at not saying thanks. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yes.
different. That's different on the whole to, well,
Yes.
this person used to do this with this person and whatever. Like at that point, I'm gonna tell you no. But if you're a grown person, you decide, well, no, that's still a good risk to take. Well, that is entirely on you.
Yes. Yes. But you shouldn't have to pursue your profession weighing certain
Blindly.
types of risks.
But and that's the
It
thing.
it shouldn't be like that.
We think it shouldn't be like that, but there are
Hmm.
people in the industry who still does it. You,
Hmm.
you are by you hang around with people who have issues, real deep dark issues.
Hmm.
Hmm. And you and I'm throwing this. I'm hoping you get the energy, Louise, as to what I'm talking about. But it can't be that you're okay with being around people who have those kinds of deep dark serious problems, because it means then that you have some deep dark serious problems that you need to work on too.
Yes, absolutely. Either
So
that or you need to examine why you
are around this person.
accept it. So
Yeah.
it may mean that you have that darkness too, but I gotta ask why the association?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Do you remember the list of names I dropped in the WhatsApp chat?
Yeah.
Right. I won't repeat the list, ladies and gentlemen, but it was just a list of associates going back decades, and I'm asking myself, one of you didn't see something and y'all were comfortable with us?
Mm.
Y'all still associated? What? What?
He must he pay that money to stay hush hush. You never know. Until
But
now, they're probably gonna come out and say, well, blah blah blah, such and such is the case, but
I mm, it is entirely possible. It is
yeah.
entirely possible that people may now decide to say, well, there was this time. I'm sure that we're gonna get a lot of quote unquote exclusive interviews
Yeah.
coming out of
10
this.
years later,
So,
15 years later,
yes.
this
And
person worked with this person and
yes.
witnessed yeah, 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 it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
No,
It's
hear the thing, if it is somebody approach a celebrity for an exclusive interview, that's not free.
mm,
So I fear that the celebrities who do decide to do the little tell-all, it feels as though they're gonna financially benefit from the pain of others
mm,
by describing the things they saw, by describing the because I mean you've seen what's out there on the internet talking about orgies, like wild parties. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You if you're gonna talk about something that you saw, chances are there were victims in that scenario, and in a way, you are monetizing from their grief. I
Mm,
don't like that.
yeah,
I don't. I really, unless they have a really valid reason for
yeah,
speaking, it just rubs me the wrong way. It rubs me the wrong way. It rubs me the wrong way. But what I hate as well is that yes, people are talking about the crime that he's committed, but but in a way, this is like good publicity for him.
yeah, fair.
It is because people are now remembering, wait, he's responsible for Mary J. Blige. When
He's
last Mary J. dropped
responsible.
an album?
This man is responsible for a lot of people.
Yes, he
He
is.
has he's basically one of what you call the core people, the the real game changers of the industry. I don't think people understand what Sean
Mhm.
Combs has done for the industry in terms of the kind of talent that has come out from under him, the type of
Mhm.
music that has come out from under him, the type
Mhm.
of business that has come out from him.
Yes,
There's just a lot of stuff that this man
there's a lot
has
of stuff.
done. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. He is his record label, and by extension, him, is responsible for a lot of talents
Yeah.
that is still relevant today, and talent that we don't really speak about as much, but who back in their heyday would have been huge.
Yeah. Hmm.
You know, I mean, yeah, he gave us some great music in the 2000s, and I thank you for the music, Mr. Combs, but I, Tano support here again, boy.
Yeah. Same.
But the thing is, here's a problem though. It's one thing to quote unquote boycott a singular artist, but how do you boycott a record producer? You're gonna stop listening to a lot of your favorite jams from the 2000s. Are people ready to do that?
I don't think so, you know. I don't think so. And this is where it happened. This is where the tie between that, you know, how do you separate your artist from the music? The person from the music, or however you want to look at it. How do we get there? That's our personal journey. I certainly not gonna tell you stop listening to them. But I know for me it's very easy because when I get upset about something or if I don't like something, it's a switch. I'm cool. We're done.
Yes.
I don't need to hear you. Like, that's it. That's a wrap, you know? So
yeah. Let me ask you a question though. If this were Mariah Carey, would you boycott?
Yes, I would.
Wow, that answer, ladies and gentlemen, was instant, and her face as she said it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't ever for a moment, ladies and gents, don't think that just because you're my favorite artist means that I just gonna support you through and through if you mess up. You know what I mean? Like, I just gonna stop listening to you, dog. It's very simple. It's very, very simple.
Yes. And on that note, I think it's important to remind people you can love a song, you can love an album, but idolize the work. Don't idolize
the person.
The craftsman. Don't idolize the artist behind the work. I think, because at least I know for us growing up in the 80s, we may have fallen victim to that at some point. Right? Idolize the work. Idolize what you hear on the radio, but don't think that because this person has produced work that is like absolutely epic to your ears, that they themselves are an epic person. Yes.
I think that's a good way to wrap this episode because that's a very strong message. And that goes for the business people too, guys. You know, it's the same way, you know, they may have a track record, but they have a deep, dark history too. You know, I'm not saying that everybody is all cotton candy and whatever, but everybody has problems. The real question is, how do you differentiate between that? And how do you go about associating without associating? You know, that is entirely up to you. What do you guys think about what's been going on with that, with Mr. Combs and, you know, the lawsuits? Drop a comment, because I think that this is it's an important conversation to have, especially for the young artists that are coming up all over the world that may be listening to this show, and you know, you kind of want to make a choice, and you might get a connection with somebody and you're like, well, do I? And trust me, guys, it have the predators down here. Don't think for a moment that because what's going on with Combs outside mean it's not happening in Trinidad. It's very blatant in Trinidad. We just need to know how to identify it.
We do. We absolutely do.
All right, guys. So I think that's it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And we shall see y'all, and we shall hear y'all on the next one. Peace out, guys.
Peace out.